Hello there and welcome to my presentation. My name is Francis Kiroro and I work with African Population and Health Research Center based in Nairobi, Kenya. I'll present to you about the drivers of whole youth development skills acquisition in TVET institutions in Kenya, a study that we conducted recently. Background: what is whole youth development skills? We consider whole youth development skills to incorporate all academic and non-academic skills obtained by a student in the course of their life developmental growth. Academic skills are obtained through conventional training, whereas non-academic skills are such skills like soft skills, life skills, and core values. Soft skills refer to those skills that characterize how a person interacts in his or her relationship with others. Whereas life skills refers to the positive behavior that enables humans to deal effectively with the challenges and demands of life. Core values, on the other hand, are the fundamental beliefs of a person or an organization, which are all essential in the whole youth development skills as a part of the non-academic skills. In Kenya, about 500 to 800,000 Kenyan youth join the labor market after completing their training institutions. Among these are the TVET institution students who graduate. TVET refers to technical and vocational education and training. There are concerns that skills acquired in the training institutions do not meet the market expectations, as the youth graduating from TVET institutions have challenges accessing, creating, and retaining jobs, and also in progressing in the jobs for those who have gotten employment. That prompted us to look at the following research questions. What are the TVET students' perceptions about the support they receive from their institutions? What are the level of availability of policy frameworks in TVET institutions? What are the key drivers of whole youth development in TVET institutions? Following is our methodology. We used a cross-sectional survey design of the study, and the analytical approaches that we adopted were descriptive and inferential. The main outcomes of the study were identification of the key drivers of the whole youth development skills, as well as the perceptions on TVET institution support and availability of policy documents or services and status of curricular coverage. This illustration shows us the geographical location of the counties where we undertook our study. In total, we conducted our study in 9 counties. We interviewed we reached 182 TVET institutions and interviewed 347 instructors and 171 managers or principals of institutions, and a total of 3,452 students or youth aged between 15 and 25 years. Then we move to results. We first look at the levels of availability of policy documents and services. And in this, we find that TVET institutions were doing well in regard to a number of policies or services such as industrial attachment and services, liaison services, but on the flip side, we find that they were doing poorly in terms of safeguarding policy, availability of such policies like community service policy, and written sexual harassment policy. Then we look at to what extent does TVET curricula integrate whole youth development. On this, we find that availability of the syllabus documents were higher for academic and technical skills than for non-academic skills such as relationships, sexual and reproductive, health, education, and environmental awareness. Students' perceptions about support from TVET institutions. On this, we find that majority of institutions have inadequate equipment, and over 3/5 of students indicated that their institutions do not have adequate machineries and equipment or materials. Similar results were evident from instructors and also from the managers' interviews. Students also feel that they were not aware or they didn't know about the bursaries and scholarship opportunities available for them. Over 3/5 of the students indicated not to know about that. At the same time, the equipment and materials, machineries compatibility with the curriculum was also not very good. And in terms of the machineries being up to date, this also over half of the students indicated that the institution's materials and equipment were not up to date. We now look at the levels of equipment adequacy by TVET managers. And as we have indicated in the previous slide, over 3/5 of TVET managers indicated their institutions did not have adequate equipment. Now we look at the drivers of whole youth development skills as obtained from a multi-level regression model. That we weighted a whole youth development score, which was computed based on 4 whole youth development areas, namely functional numeracy, functional literacy, and digital learning, and also soft skills. We had a total of 17 variables included in the model, falling at the level 1 and the level 2. Level 1 were students, and level 2 were factors associated with the TVET institutions. When you look at the significant variables, age was one of them, and an increase in age of a student by an year leads to an increase in overall whole youth development score by about 0.5% on average. In terms of gender, male students performed better than female students by about 2% on average. Socioeconomic status, having an interaction with the TVET category, where TVET category refers to whether an institution was a national polytechnic or a technical training institute or a vocational training center. Students from poorer backgrounds studying in national polytechnic or technical training institutes performed better than those from poorer backgrounds studying in vocational training centers by about 2.6% on average. Looking at level 2 variables, resources, as we have shown from across students and managers and also instructors, was quite a big issue. And they have a lot of influence on students' performance on whole youth development score. Students from institutions that are adequately equipped performed better than those from inadequately equipped institutions by about 3.3% on average. Location also of where the institutions are located had also some influence. We find that students from arid and semi-arid counties performed poorer compared to students from other counties. Another another notable result was based on the TVET type in terms of the whole youth development score. There was no significant difference in the whole youth development score by TVET type. By TVET type, we mean whether students were from a public TVET institution or a private TVET institution. And also there was no significant difference in whole youth development score by the level of study, whereby level of study means the students who had just begun their TVET institutions learning and those who are about to complete their studies. And this was quite interesting because we would expect those who are about to finish to perform better than those ones who had just joined. Our conclusion. Evidence indicates that there is no significant difference between the overall whole youth development scores for the beginners and finalists. A revamped curricula and policy documents that give more weight on non-academic skills may positively impact on the whole youth development adoption in TVET institutions. The supply side resources such like policies and equipment and human capital initiatives drive inculcation of whole youth development. This means that the demand side, such as students' characteristics and geographical location of the institutions, would heavily rely on the supply side for improved whole youth development uptake. Policy implications. Provision of adequate resources and equipment which are up to date that are aligned to courses offered in TVET institutions would heavily impact on the provision of whole youth development skills training. We also advocate for implementation of competence-based education and training and ensuring that the CBET incorporates whole youth development skills training. Availability of all the necessary policies and guidelines geared towards promoting whole youth development skills training in TVET institutions and ensuring that there is a monitoring way to ensure that the institutions have these policies and guidelines in place. Increase in awareness among TVET students on the availability of bursaries and scholarships available to them. It is likely that lack of awareness on the same could potentially be a contributing factor to low TVET enrollments in various courses. And this would also help to reaching out to quite a number of students out there, potential students out there who have not enrolled for courses, who fear that they do not have enough money or funding to facilitate their learning. At the same time, the government has an initiative to construct more TVET institutions to ensure that each and every constituency has, and this initiative of increasing awareness about the availability of funding opportunities may also positively impact on the enrollment into those institutions. Thank all the colleagues at APHRC who helped in the project, as well as the partners in the study such as ZZ Afrique, Aga Khan University, and Dalberg Research, among others. And that marks the end of my presentation. Thank you.